Why? Why does everything I love have to be ruined? Why do you people have to disappoint me? The Beatle Bronies. The Beatle Bronies. I don't think you guys understand. No, really, you don't. If you look in front of me, you might notice what looks like bona fide Beatle album art. And at first glance, you might fool yourself into thinking this is just a new form of cancer with a clever name. No. You look at it again and go, what is this? This doesn't look that bad. What is this? A collection of pony music videos? Oh, you have no idea. Wait, there are actual songs in these? Oh, I get it. Some guy must have just taken some instrumentals off the internet and thrown in some pony lyrics on top of it. Well, that's not too bad. I mean, it's cancerous, sure, but really, you're just overreacting. Just scroll past it. Oh, you have no idea. This is not some cute collection of songs neatly arranged with some My Little Pony art. No, this is not one, but 3 goddamn cover albums! And no, this is not just one guy painfully singing about My Little Pony. There's 7 of them. 7. And they each play an instrument. That's right. I'm talking about fully voiced, fully covered, fully autistic cover albums. Are you scared? You better be scared. I'm scared. I'm the one that has to cover this filth. But I guess it's like ripping off a band-aid or pulling out a bullet times 3. And no, I'm not gonna go over every single song. I'd rather kill myself. No, we're gonna prod this abortion and see if we can find out just what went wrong. Speaking of killing myself, I'm gonna place this bottle of bleach right over here. If I find that I can't take the pain anymore, or that I'm getting some sort of sick enjoyment out of this, I will drink that bleach and ensure that no one has to suffer at the hands of this ever again. We've got 3 albums to cover, 1 bottle of bleach, and 1 man. I'm the Self-Contained Thinker, and this is the Beatle Bronies. We're going to be starting off this 3-piece series by going over Apple Road first, because doing all 3 albums at once would just be a nightmare. So expect the blank album in a couple weeks and that following it. Opening up Apple Road, I can already see that it doesn't even care. What happened here? Where's Octopus Garden? I Want You, and Here Comes the Sun. How about Sun King? Polythene Pam, where she came in through the bathroom. What, did you just say screw it and not record those songs? How can you even call this a cover album if you don't even cover all the songs? What a load of garbage. I can only assume that they either couldn't play those songs, which would be a good reason for them not to play those songs, or they just got lazy. And don't worry, that question will be answered later. Moving on to their first song, which is stupidly renamed Blank Flank for some reason, and you can see that the disappointment only continues. Everything about this sucks. The guitar is so overpowering and poorly mixed, and their drummer, oh my god, their drummer sucks. When you can't get the beat for Come Together down, you have no right to seriously call yourself a drummer. The rhythm is also all kinds of screwed up. Oh sure, during the verses when there's nothing too complex going on, it's fine. But as soon as the chorus hits... In the garden, right now, breaking leaves. Wow, that's bad. Oh, don't worry, pretty little head. There are plenty of bona fide lyrics in here. Oh yes, plenty of terrible, terrible bona fide lyrics. They just sound so out of place and cringeworthy that it makes you think a 5-year-old rewrote this song. However, that doesn't really bother me much because I can barely hear them, especially in the back half of the song. Just what were you thinking? So all in all, this is a pretty horrible cover. No, really, am I right? But let this set the tone for the entire album because, and trust me when I say this, it's only gonna get worse from here. Derpy's Iron Anvil starts off by mentioning a character from My Little Pony known as Twilight Sparkle. I personally think it's amazing that you made me absolutely hate a character I know nothing about. I think it comes from the fact that if this character didn't exist, it might have prevented this song from being conceived. To be honest, that's not perfectly fair, because this is probably the best song they have on this album. And you hold it right there! That's not saying it's good! And I'm sure as hell not saying it goes anywhere near the Beatles, but the song didn't make my testicles hurt nearly as much as the other ones. That being said, the instruments, that being all of them, still sound like garbage, and it makes it sound like a cheap rip-off of the Beatles. It lacks the cheery nature of the song, and because the rhythm is still off, it doesn't even come close to being a memorable cover. And those drums. Jesus Christ, those drums are worse than Issues with Aggression. Hell, they're worse than Until I Die's drums. And I can't be the only one that finds it funny that according to Wikipedia, McCartney insisted on a perfect performance for this song, and yet these backwood inbred morons took this song and ruined it. Because this is miles away from a perfect performance. Because, I never liked that title. Always sounded like some bad joke to throw around. Why did you make this horrible album? Because we love My Little Pony! Aren't you at least ashamed for making something so cancer-inducing? No, it's pony-tastic! If I had a large spike and drove it directly into your frontal cortex, making it physically impossible for you to do anything but watch My Little Pony, would you be okay with that?
Stop it! It's not for little girls. I have autism. I'm the next step in human evolution. And my show preaches friendship and happiness, and here you come. You're just being a big boy. No one likes you.
Your show is garbage. If I were to describe the tone of the original song, I would say it's calm and soothing with a bit of an ominous undertone. This cover also sounds calm and soothing, but the difference between the two is that the Beatles actually sound like they have control over their song, like they were actually adept at their instruments or something. The Beatle Bronies, on the other hand, seem to have a bass player that's just allergic to playing in time. It's inexcusable. And I'm not even saying he's just a smidgen off beat. No, I'm saying there are entire sections where he plays a note a full second before he's supposed to. It throws the entire song off and ruins the already mediocre vocals and guitar. I don't know what you want me to say, because it seems pretty clear to me that this is an absolute failure of a cover and should be avoided like the plague. The Apple Road medley is a bit bizarre to me, to be honest. It's not an original song, but a collaboration of You Never Give Us Our Cutie, Mean Old Gilda, and Carried Our Weight, all of which are already on this album as their own tracks. Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking up space on my computer to put your songs, which are already on this album, on there again. I'm going to review these songs already later down the line, so there's no point on touching on this anymore. Next. You Never Give Us Our Cutie is really the point where this album starts to test my patience. It was obvious that they weren't getting any better with their instruments, and to be honest, now that I think about it, they actually got worse. The production values, they're just so bad. The guy who's on the drums, you need to do a few things. Okay, first off, you need to set your drum set on fire. Now I know gas is a bit expensive, so I will pay for that as a public duty, but then you must go ahead and set yourself on fire. I'm not kidding. You suck. Badly. They're so flat and lifeless, as if they've been loosened to the point where hitting them too hard might make them fall apart. No effort is ever made to keep the beat. I mean, it's not hard. Get yourself a pair of earbuds, get a metronome app on your phone, put one earbud in your ear, tie the other one around your neck, and hang yourself. With that electric guitar, it sounds like the howls of hell, and it's not in time either. So that's just great. Another garbage cover. I'm noticing a trend is starting here. Right. These three songs which are displayed here are bad. Not only does it start off bad, it slowly and progressively gets even worse. I'm not kidding. It starts off with Mean Old Gilda, which has all the problems as You'll Never Give Us Our Cutie, that being horrible drums, no sense of rhythm, but then it transfers into Ever Free Mare. God, am I tired of saying these My Little Pony song titles. The drums in this are one-dimensional. The guy singing sounds like he's trying to be a poor man's version of Blink-182. And the guitar sounds like it's been mixed to sound quieter than everything else, which is the exact opposite of what the Beatles actually sounded like. Mixing it this way really only shows how asinine your drums player is. That, or you played it live, would really throw me for a loop, because it sounds like all 7 of you are playing on different tempos. After that's done, it goes into She Came Across the School's Doorstep, which is completely forgettable. The unique tones the Beatles were so great at bringing out in this track are gone, and it doesn't help that all I can focus on are the bona fide lyrics and, say it with me now, the drums. I would like to say that the vocals are good, but even then they aren't that great. Plus they sound like they've been recorded through a webcam mic and lack the range of the actual Beatles. At least they got the order of these songs right. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine how mad I would be if they somehow screwed this up. And you might be saying, oh come on, they can't be that incompetent. Oh, don't worry, I'll address that later. Moving on to the final stretch, I'm gonna have to ask you to brace yourself. No, really, this is where they try to be big and epic. If I were to describe this group of songs with one word, it would be painful. They bring out all the stops for this one. At first it sounds like it might be barely passable, but then they have the bright idea to blast their drums at full volume. Afterwards they play a piano, which is obviously not them performing, and sing some more garbage lyrics. I want to give some credit, especially to the guy singing. It sounds like he might be okay, but the way they recorded it, especially in this song, makes it sound like there's a brick wall in between me and him. It has a little silent period for a bit before it goes for the 1-2 punch by having both garbage lyrics and horrible drums. You're gonna carry that weight. Stop it, it's too much. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. This assault. This assault. Jesus, it's so mediocre. God, it makes me wish I was listening to the actual Beatles, and I don't even listen to them that much. Carry that weight. What can I say here that I haven't said 100 times before? Their mixing is bad, the bona fide lyrics. Actually, I don't even know if there are any bona fide lyrics. That's how bad the vocal recordings are. And generally, it's just so unprofessional and brain-numbing. I can feel my brain physically killing itself every single second I spend listening to this album. God, can this get any worse? No, I didn't mean it. No, please, God, no, I didn't mean it. The end has to be the absolute worst song I've ever heard in my life. Oh yeah, I said it. I've been to 5th grade band concerts that sounded better than this. Their drums. Oh my God, their drums. I can't even put it into words. Just listen. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You can hear him click his sticks together as he plays. Just how amateur can you guys get? But oh wait, the guitars want to get in on the failure too. The guitars, I just can't. Wow. That bottle of bleach is looking very tasty right now. I think it's the fact that I've made decisions through my life that have led me to this point in time that makes this so soul-crushing. The fact that I, personally, have neglected to kill myself for such a period of time that I have arrived here and am listening to the Beatle Bronies is a mistake I will never live down. But then, silence. The last 2 minutes of the end are just that. Silence. I couldn't tell you how happy I was when I first heard this. And then I realized there's a 2.5 gap of no sound in the second to last song on this album. They couldn't fix that. They couldn't put it into Audacity and just trim it back. No. My God, I think I found an album that has a bigger screw it mentality than Until I Die. But is it good? No! Finally, we get Prince Blue Blood. I don't know what wrong here, because this sounds nothing like the original song. I mean, here's the original song.
Nice girl, but she changes from day to day. I wanna tell her that I love her a lot.
And now here's Prince's Blue Blood.
Blue Blood is a very handsome colt, but he lacks a lot of chivalry.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Blue Blood is a
I know what they did. They slowed it down. I can't believe they actually slowed it down. The whole point of that guitar piece was that it was a fast-paced, beautiful piece. Man, this is the gift that just keeps on giving, isn't it? So yeah, with that out of the way, I'd have to say the guitar in this song is probably the best instrument on this entire album, bar none. But the singing sucks. Then again, what did you expect? It also seems like the entire meaning of the song just isn't there anymore. It's like if you took Holiday and slowed it down. Sure, it's the same song and it has the same lyrics and the same chord progression and the same melodies, but it really isn't the same song. Before I close on this album, I want to explain why I didn't review Because and Oh Pony. Well, you see, they didn't really cover those songs. No, they used instrumentals. Instrumentals. So you're telling me that you're willing to use instrumentals on certain songs, presumably ones that you couldn't play, but you still left out 6 whole songs. But why not review those songs anyways? Okay, I will. Insert song title here sounds great, mainly because it's the Beatles playing them. However, the lyrics sound bland and bring it down, and really show that the Beatle Bronies aren't talented enough to even match the quality of an instrumental from the actual Beatles, let alone a cover album. Now just repeat that 4 or so times, and you should get approximately what I would say for those tracks, because really it's all the same. So let's go ahead and look at the actual final listing. Blank Flank, Something, I'm not counting that. Derpy's Iron Anvil, Oh Pony, I'm not counting that. Because, The Apple Rub Medley, I'm not counting that. Mean Old Gilda, Golden Slumbers, and Prince Blue Blood. That means out of what is supposed to be 17 songs, we only get 14 if we stretch it, and only 11 if we actually use our brains. What I don't understand is how you can manage to screw up the Beatles. They have some of the most iconic themes and melodies of all time, and you butcher your playing so much that you can barely make them out. Your playing takes all of the soul out of the source material. When you lose the overall theme and tone of the original albums, then your cover has failed, and your cover failed from song 1. No, it failed when you people made the retarded connection that the Beatles, arguably one of the best bands of all times, should have anything to do with one of the most autistic, toxic, and childish fan bases to ever disgrace the internet. I would at least like to credit the fan art on the front for not looking like entire garbage, but I know you pulled that from DeviantArt somewhere, so nope, not even gonna give that one to you. So overall, this album was a complete waste of time. Horrible instruments, lyrics, botching the rhythm, getting the track listing wrong, and so on and so on. This constant onslaught of issues make this album completely unenjoyable. The amount of cringe I get from listening to every forced Pony lyric is about the same as the amount of pain I get from smashing my dick in a car door. The conclusion? Stay away from this album! Even if you are a die-hard Brony, this is not worth anyone's time. I feel as if I have to personally apologize on this album's behalf because it takes up space on the internet that could be used for literally anything else. I thought Issues with Aggression was bad. I thought that album would be the lowest I would go on this channel. I mean, excuse me for thinking that some guy with no musical experience or talent, armed only with a webcam, a keyboard, and a basic copy of Fruity Loops, would somehow be the low point of my channel. Well, I guess I was wrong. So I congratulate you, Beatle Bronies. I congratulate you for being humongous failures. Please stop breathing my oxygen. I wish I could destroy this album. I wish. And yes, I know I could just delete them on my computer, but that's not good enough. I need to put this evil to rest once and for all. But how? I got it. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this CD, burn these songs, grab this hammer, go outside, put this disc here, and I think you know what's gonna happen next. Gross.